I'm just gonna say this. I find it insulting how a week prior to this Uvalde shooting, you had, if I'm not mistaken, 10 black people shot and killed in Buffalo, New York. Yeah, like for those who follow me, yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on the Buffalo school shooting as well, and how the media's quit trying to easily forget about that. Well, recently in a town called Uvalde, which is like a dozen miles away from San Antonio, some Hispanic this cross dressing like I don't feel like I have no sympathy for this dude either, because like I saw a video like the Transformer school shooter who recently shot up the school and murdered 19 children. I don't feel like I'm not showing any sympathy towards him either. Like I saw a video of him holding a bag of two dead cats. Like I'm a cat person, and like anybody who knows me knows how I feel about abuse towards animals, especially when it comes to like domestic animals. Okay, but I digress. Anyway, how do I notice how the media and like a lot of celebrities are coming out shedding tears for these children who recently lost their life. Like, yeah, that's very sad. That's very tragic. But like, had this been a school of full of black kids, you think they would be having all these memorials and saying how much they're like showing sympathy towards them? Hell no. It would have been, you would have saw nothing but mockery. Like whenever a black person gets killed, they always make fun of it. They make a mockery of it. How come anybody making a mockery of these kids? Like this is nobody's calling. How come nobody's calling this brown on brown crime or Hispanic on Hispanic crime? Mind you, this was a Hispanic male who went into a school full of predominantly Hispanic children and shot and killed them. You don't have nobody talk about illegal and these kids are born from wetbacks and nothing like that. Nobody's saying that. But but nobody wanted to acknowledge the death. The media barely acknowledged the death of 10 black people who lost their lives in Buffalo, New York. I noticed that, and like I'm not surprised, and a lot of people in the black community are not surprised either. Like celebrities coming out showing their sympathy for them. You got Meghan Markle, the tragic mulatto, she went down to Uvalde and put a in a and show offered her condolences. But did she do that with the black people in New York? Hell no. Like Meghan Markle is she's a typical biracial mulatto half breed who wants to run away from her blackness and ignore the fact that her being half black is the reason why she's not living in England, because she saw racism firsthand. You can't deny it when it's a dead smack in your face. You can deny it all you want any other time, but then when it's dead smack in your face, it's kind of hard for you to do that. When you sit in shit long enough, when you sleep in shit long enough, it eventually starts to lose its smell. But I digress. It's unfortunate that this happened, but like, what about when black kids get murdered? When we had 10 elderly black people it gets shot and killed. These, like I said, a lot of these people are soft targets. It goes to the soft target theory. Are these people like these so-called shooters? How come they don't roll up into neighborhoods where they got the gangbangers and the drug dealers? Those dudes are packing heat. Some of those guys are armed to the teeth, but you're not rolling up. You're not rolling up on them. And see, this right here was this Texas school shooter. Was bullied at school because of clothes he wore, and because his family was poor. Former classmate says, a lot of us were bullied. The clothes he wore was probably female clothes, and like what you expect? That's high school. You still gonna get mocked and ridiculed. And another thing I noticed, they didn't bring up his father. Where's his father at? Well, like whenever a black child it's in the news. The news would dig and find their father, even if that child never met his father. They would dig and find his father. Say, well, this child did this, but his father, he was arrested. He was arrested for assault and battery and car thief and blah 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 blah. They could just dig that shit up. Like they didn't do that with Kyle Rittenhouse, and they didn't do it with this guy. How do I feel about the Uvalde shooting? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't feel their pain. All those people who lost their life, that's sad and unfortunate, but I do not feel their pain. I don't feel none of their pain. I know that's a cold thing to say, but like I really don't. Because had that been 19 black students, number one, they would. Had that been 19 black kids, the media would try their best to try to barely acknowledge to even acknowledge it, because they barely acknowledged the Buffalo school shooting. They barely acknowledged that. But then like you got hit, but like 19 Hispanic kids get shot and killed all of a sudden. Oh, it's so sad. It's a tragedy, but nobody's making fun of it like they do with the black kids. So like I really don't. It's sad, but I don't feel their pain. That's all I gotta say about that. I really don't feel their pain.